With 2 world titles to his name at 25 years of age, Max Verstappen is well on his way as a credible threat to Michael Schumacher's joint record haul. You would also be a brave person to bet against Max winning his 3rd title this season, with the Red Bulls looking comfortably the quickest car on the grid. There is no disputing his ability, but what we could discuss is what other drivers think of the Dutchman. So let's do just that. What have F1 drivers made of Max Verstappen in 2023? Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez shared their first heated exchange during the 2023 Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Verstappen suffered a reliability issue during the qualifying sessions, spoiling his weekend. The Dutchman was unhappy with his teammates securing the pole position and race win. Verstappen was ordered by his team not to push for the fastest lap, which he did not pay heed to. This way, the 2-time champion retained the championship lead by a 1-point gap between him and Perez. The Red Bull drivers blamed miscommunication to be the reason for the issue. However, the two have already shown remnants of tensions from last year's race in Brazil. If the rivalry between the duo grows, then it would be one of the biggest flare-ups since Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton's beef between 2013 and 2016. Fernando Alonso has been a surprise contender in this season's races and is hoping that he can capitalize on any potential flare-up between the Red Bull pair. We know there has been a lot of talk about them having a hot environment, so we will pay attention. Lots have been made about the relationship between Verstappen and Perez. So what does Checo think of his teammate? Sergio Perez has spoken out about the relationship amid the recent tensions within the team. Perez was asked if he was prepared to handle any tensions within the team with Verstappen, given his teammate's determination to win at all costs. To be honest, we got a lot more respect for each other than other people might think out there, he told the media. There is a great atmosphere with the team. There is a very high level of respect between each other in the team, with all the engineers from their side and my side. I think we are both mature enough to know what's right and what's wrong. As long as that keeps being the case, and I don't expect anything to change. The RB19 has established itself as being in a different league compared to the competition, with it likely to produce a similar title race in 2023 as Mercedes at the start of the hybrid era. Perez believes the combination of dominant car and Verstappen makes him one of the hardest competitors to beat on track. So far, he has managed to stay within a reasonable margin when the pair have been close on the track. Not only in Jeddah but already in Bahrain, we were in very small margins in qualifying and in the race. He continued, "There is no doubt that there is no driver on such a form as there is Max. And so, together with the team, with the car, he's definitely the hardest driver to beat," he said. "So it will require the maximum effort from me to bring my A game at every single weekend." But what about something positive about Max? He also recently was very complimentary of Fernando Alonso. Indeed, it appears Verstappen, whose father Jos raced alongside Alonso in the Spaniard's early years in the sport, is an advocate for the veteran to end his long wait for a 33rd career victory, even if it is at his own expense. "I think Fernando should have won anyway already, a lot more races than what he has done," Verstappen said. "I think he deserves a lot more. I would be quite happy to see him win number 33. But I also, in a way, would like to see him win more. So we'll see in the coming races." While Alonso and Lewis Hamilton have enough history to write a book about their rivalry, him and Verstappen have enjoyed a friendly relationship away from the track. And the veteran racer joked he would take Verstappen's favourite number if he wins the championship for a 3rd time this year. There is no doubt that Max is a fierce competitor on the track, but is there a softer side to him that we don't see? Recently, we've seen Instagram videos of all 3 Red Bull drivers, Verstappen, Perez and Daniel Ricciardo together. And it's a much more friendly Verstappen than we're used to seeing. Now Daniel Ricciardo has joined the team, are we finally starting to see the more relaxed side of the 2-time world champion? Some of the comments from fans under the Instagram videos read, "Max and Daniel are still phenomenal together," one commenter posted. A second added to the general opinion, "Max is literally sunshine around Danny Rick." A third had a similar sentiment, "Love how Checo is just a passenger on this train of craziness. Daniel and Max together is truly something else." Max is no stranger to disagreements with fellow drivers, as will come apparent as this video continues. The latest being George Russell, with the Mercedes driver claiming that Red Bull could be going even quicker, but they are holding back. "For sure they're holding back," Russell told BBC Radio 5 Live. "They're almost embarrassed to show their full potential because the faster they seem globally, the more the sport is going to try and hold them back somehow. Realistically, they probably have 7/10 advantage over the rest of the field. I don't know what the pace difference looks like at the moment, but Max has got no reason to be pushing, and nor does Red Bull. Verstappen was later asked on Russell's comments and was quick to insist that Red Bull are not deliberately trying to hold back, with the 25-year-old explaining that he did not feel the need to risk wearing out his tyres by pushing too hard beyond the prescribed limits. "I think anyway there's nothing really they can do," he told the BBC's Checkered Flag podcast. "I mean, we just tried to do the best we can with the development of the car, but it's also about pace management." As far as Formula One comparisons go, there are few drivers whose name carries quite as much weight as 7-time world champion Michael Schumacher. So, if Max Verstappen wasn't already assured that he's on the path to greatness, Jean Tot's recent tip of the cap should only boost his confidence. Although maybe the comparison wasn't as complimentary as one initially thought. The only thing that Michael Schumacher and Max Verstappen have in common, according to Jean Tot, is that they drive the best car on the F1 grid. Verstappen's fiery competitiveness and aggression on the track, coupled with his assault on a third consecutive F1 championship, has drawn comparison with the legendary Schumacher. But Tot, the ex-Ferrari team principal who guided the most iconic years of the German's career, sees only one similarity. He told Corriere della Sera, "He's a fighter like Michael, but on a human level, I know Max too little to judge him. Michael might have seemed a bit presumptuous and obnoxious when he ran, but it was an attitude that served to hide his shyness. He was humble. He always questioned himself. He never blamed the team, not even when the brakes broke at Silverstone through our fault. I don't make comparisons, but he and Max have one thing in common. They drive for the best team, and that helps." Meanwhile, following the Australian Grand Prix, Max threatened to leave Formula One unless they changed the sprint races. He has been critical in the past of the sprint format, which is being used a record 6 races this season, the first of which is coming at the end of this month in Baku. Not only are there more sprints than ever before, but the format is set to change again. Giving his view, Verstappen made it clear to Portugal's Sport TV that he was not a fan. He said, "I'm happy with just the main race. I think that's way better for the excitement. I naturally, of course, hope that there won't be too many changes, otherwise I won't be around for too long." While that appears to be a clear statement of the Dutchman's intent, Brundle is not so sure. The Sky Sports pundit won't be holding his breath waiting for Verstappen to walk away from the sport over this matter. "I'd be surprised. But if he doesn't want to drive it, there'll be a million other people who do want to drive that Red Bull." I think what he's trying to say is, using unpleasant words, don't mess around too much. Let's just evolve and massage this along. Don't keep changing the ground rules. I get his point on that, but I don't really see why that would make him stop. One thing is for certain that win, lose or draw, Max Verstappen will never be far away from the headlines. Not only is he an amazing driver, but he also has opinions as big as his talent. At 25, he will be around for many years to come, where aside from winning races, he will continue to polarize opinions. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel, and don't forget to click the bell button to be notified of future videos.